If you talk about China, China, it will be different. China in Africa, you forget about your friend who help you when you are in difficult situations.
I have to mention the important role of Belt and Road Local Cooperation Committee.
The NGO create those bonds. That's what strengthens the relationship. I am enjoying it.
People always ask, where is the opportunity? Today in Hangzhou, an important window for the world to see China. How can we take the lead in international cooperation?
Let's go!
Where are the opportunities brought about by Chinese modernization, and where are they going? Let's explore together. Lungelo, welcome to Hangzhou.
Thank you.
Here we have a short video. Yeah, he is from South Africa.
Hello, Mr. Mbandazayo. I bring you greetings from Port Nolloth in the Northern Cape. And I'm also delighted to hear that you're in Hangzhou. It's one of my favorite Chinese cities. We spent 7 years in China, the last part in Hangzhou. And I know you will love being in Hangzhou. That's my second city. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've just watched a short video, which is a warm greeting from a friend of yours. So were you impressed by the warm greeting?
Yes, I was impressed and
Not surprised.
and also surprised.
Also surprised.
I was not expecting it. That someone who has stayed this long in the city and experience the warmness of it, and from the look of the friendliness of it, and what he has experienced, which is one of those things that makes us also to come to sign sister city agreements with the Hangzhou, is to learn to take some learnings from certain things that are doing right.
I have to mention the important role of Belt and Road Local Cooperation Committee. Now, this committee is globally renowned for cultural and tourism appeal and what is done to contribute to the sustainable development. Because the key word in this name is local. Belt and Road Local Cooperation Committee.
The NGO create those bonds. That's what strengthens the relationship. It has had to be people-to-people level in order for it to thrive, those exchanges. Anyone should be encouraged to do that, because that's what also helps in terms of tourists, because if you have those, if people from Hangzhou go there and experience that, they will spread the word here, and more people would want to go and experience what is experienced by the others, and in that way the relationship will be strengthened.
But South Africa is a strong economy on the African continent, so to speak. Although you have had some problems since the end of apartheid in 1994. And I was impressed by the iconic image of Nelson Mandela, founding father of African National Congress. So in what particular area do you think the two major economies can learn from each other?
China is far more advanced than us in terms of technology and in terms of governance issues in certain aspect, and in terms of leadership. The reason why I'm saying that, you mentioned the 1994. Yes, we're excited because we're coming from an era where before I would not be in this position. I am. But of course, after the euphoria of 1994, reality sank that there are challenges.
Such as?
Challenges in terms of people who have been in the rural areas. They were not accessing many things, like running water and all those things. So now these things have to be extended to them. Some even in terms of old age pension. Where rural area I'm come from, the Eastern Cape of South Africa, old age people were getting pension once in a quarter. Was even half of what in the then South Africa were getting once a month. So there's those differences. Now you get all those people who have to get the same pension, so it has to be extended to them. Now it's not only the few, and also our country was designed in such a way that even the cities in which we live, the so-called white areas that were not designed, they will increase in the future. There will be more people. Now we have those challenges. Now how do you then adapt in the new South Africa, accommodating the large number of people moving from the rural areas to the urban areas, urbanization. And unfortunately, the cities have not prepared for that influx, the inward migration. And those are the challenges that we face. For instance, if you look at Cape Town is trying to do different things differently, to try to say we term ourselves as a city of hope, where everyone else can have a better future. As the government of the city, we want to create that environment, people to be able to thrive. But the reality is that the infrastructure that we have is unable to deal with that.
But I was told a different story, excuse me. I was advised to visit Cape Town, if not Johannesburg, which is said to be a dangerous city because of the crimes. Now, Cape Town is known for having the infrastructure that boasts of European standards. And you also visit the wild parks, the animals, the Lion King, tigers. And so, is that true?
You are right and wrong in one aspect. Yes, we have infrastructure, but where is the infrastructure located? That's the issue. Now, as I was saying, there is inward migration. Now, if you have visited, we have seen the informality. And that is the challenge. How do we then make sure that those people are accommodated? The underground infrastructure, even the diameters of the pipes were not designed or put there in order to accommodate the future increase of the population there. So they are old and also small. Then we have the spillages of sewage. Now this is what we are currently doing in Cape Town. We are investing in that infrastructure in order to accommodate the influx. I'll tell you, look at Africa. Look, Africa and South Africa, the issue is the leadership. The leadership is the key. So hence I'm saying, look, we have to look at those things.
What do you think of the resilience of Nelson Mandela's leadership? Where does the strength of his leadership come from?
Well, as I'm going to say, look, I don't know whether that you will be saying the same thing if you are still alive and a leader today. At that time, everyone is excited. We could see no wrong in the process of our democracy. But now we have realized that I'm still sleeping in the old shack that I was sleeping in. Nothing has changed for me. Then it becomes a problem. Is it not so? So that is where I'm talking about leadership. Yes, I agree for our transition, his style of leadership was okay. There's no doubt about it, because all he was doing at that time, he was reconciling the people, because they were infections, parties. So it was good for that. So no one could see anything wrong. But there comes a time when you have now the expectation of those who are outside, who are regarding themselves outside. How do they manage to bring them inside? That's the challenge we face in South Africa. How do we share the resources?
Why do you think most of the Africans consider China more of an opportunity?
If you talk about China, it will be different, China in Africa, because during the struggle, China was
very supportive of
the struggle, And as you know that Mandela said, you forget about your friend who help you when you are in difficult situations.
A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Yes, definitely, there is no doubt. And unfortunately for us, when it looked like, I'm sure Africa, the South, they look like Africa, China was never colonized any African states.
No.
So they don't have any history of that. So I think that's how Africa viewed it. And Africa, the belief is that all of us is that in order to build, you take what is good from there and mix what is good there, and cut it according to your own cloth. Like I'm saying, I come to you in Hangzhou, they are advanced. It doesn't mean everything that I'll say, wow, I'll be able to implement there. It has to meet the requirements. I have to meet the circumstances of my own country because I have challenges, so it has to be cut according to what I'm challenged in the ground. It doesn't mean I'm going to take it as it is as implemented there, because it will not work.
Hangzhou and Cape Town have become sister cities. In recent years, a lot of investments have been made in the development of green technology and digital technology. Alibaba, for example, is a role model in many ways. Do you think the cohesiveness of our bilateral relationship, particularly the sistership between the two cities, could be fostered effectively through the construction of a digital highway and interconnectivity?
No, there's no doubt about that. Look, they can be fostered in many ways, whether it's cultural or is in terms of technology or is in terms of any other means. Sister cities is exactly the purpose they were created, is to foster those relationships and strengthen each other where the other is lacking in certain aspects, and to be able to develop and be able to find common grounds in certain things that are common to both cities.
Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate what you said. I love it.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the hospitality of Hangzhou City.
I am enjoying it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
We are supportive of the current construction of Belt and Road initiatives. We were able to participate in the construction of local infrastructure, including digital infrastructure. And the recently concluded China-Africa Cooperation Dialogue that happened in Beijing showcased once again a beautiful narrative that China promised. With that, we come to this dialogue. I'll see you next time.